Welcome to video 4, all about animal cells. Before you begin, please make sure you have a pen or pencil with you. You should also have your cell notes ready to go. All the words you need to write down are in the bold purple font. You can also use Google Documents to take your notes if you'd like. Let's begin. Let's review what we've learned so far in our videos. We know that a cell is a basic structural, functional, and biological unit of all living things. We know that there are two main differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Eukaryotes have a nucleus, and prokaryotes do not. Remember, eu, true, pro, no. We also know that eukaryotes have a membrane-bound organelles, while prokaryotes do not. Some examples of eukaryotic organisms are plants, animals, fungi, and protists. We're going to talk about animal cells today. So what are animal cells? Well, they're multicellular organisms. They're made up of animal cells. Animal cells are eukaryotic, and they do not have a cell wall. Sometimes an animal cell will have cilia or a flagellum. They cannot make their own food, so they must eat other things in order to provide the nutrients that they need for their cells. Like all eukaryotic cells, animal cells contain a nucleus and organelles. Organelles are structures found inside a cell, and they perform various functions. We're going to study some of these important organelles that are found inside of an animal cell. You're going to use the chart on your notes to fill in the function. Function will be in the purple font. What's in the pink font is telling you which organelle we're focusing on. Let's move on. The first thing we're going to talk about is the cell membrane, and it's a structure that surrounds the entire cell. It acts like a barrier, and it allows substances to pass in and out of the cell, and helps a cell communicate with other cells. Let's move on. Cytoplasm is up next, and it is the jelly-like material located inside the cell in which all of the other organelles are contained. It's composed of water and dissolved nutrients and salts. The nucleus is often referred to as the control center of the cell. It contains DNA and controls many of the cell's functions. Within the nucleus is a structure called the nucleolus. The nucleolus produces parts of the ribosomes, which are found throughout the cell. Ribosomes are small organelles where protein synthesis takes place. They're found floating freely in cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Speaking of endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, it's a series of interconnected membranes that are found outside, the nucleus. There are two different types of ER. You have rough ER, which has ribosomes attached to it, giving it that rough appearance. It transports materials throughout the cell and produces proteins. There's also smooth ER, which does not have ribosomes, and just like rough ER, it transports materials throughout the cell, but it produces lipids instead of proteins. The Golgi bodies, also can be called Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. They sort and package materials such as proteins and carbohydrates into vessels. These vessels are delivered to certain parts of the cell or exported. They leave the cell. Mitochondria are round or rod-shaped organelles with a double membrane. That means there's two membranes. It makes it harder for things to come in and out of. A mitochondrion is often called a powerhouse of the cell because it produces energy for the cell. Mitochondria convert chemical energy in sugar to usable energy for the cell. This energy is known as ATP. Vacuoles are vessels in the cell that store nutrients, waste, or water. Sometimes we name them based on what they contain. For example, a food vacuole would contain food. Lysosomes are small, round vessels that contain enzymes that digest cell nutrients and break down old cell parts. To digest food, they merge with food vacuoles to digest the nutrients. When you're ready to move on, go back to the homepage and complete the activity on animal cells. Then move on to learn more about plant cells. Magnify your knowledge, and I'll see you in the next video.